Hello there, welcome to Genesis Models. My name is Bob Waldron. In this video we're going to be having an inbox review of Airfix's Bristol Beaufighter TF.10. That's in 1/72 scale by Airfix. Nice little heavy fighter bomber for the British here. So let's just open this up, see what we get inside. Well, first off we've got some surface detail to check out just here. This is the belly of the beast, and you know the recess panel line is very much typical Airfix surface detail of late. Very crisp, very sharp, very consistent. Maybe sort of a little bit on the out of scale size, because I mean this is 1/72 scale and those recess panel lines may be a bit too big, but it's going to show off the detail. We do have rockets on here as well. Those look rather cool, all one piece. Some engine cowl detail here, we've got the detail there. We've got some engine detail here, not massive amounts of detail, but it is 1/72 scale. And then we've got all sorts of our road wheels going on just here. On the opposite side, I mean, I'm not seeing any sort of major ejector pin marks in nasty places, but I have looked at this kit earlier and there are one or two in some places. We've got some nice torpedoes with this, with the recessed panel lines, all sorts of landing gear and seat detail that's going on, which isn't bad for 1/72. Some cockpit detail just on here. Also we've got our propellers. Right, we do have our rear sort of landing gear here. It's got some detail on there, but it's looking quite sort of flat, not so crisp on where the tire meets the hub. It's it kind of does flatten out a little bit just on there. I do like how on sort of like where it's due, where you've got like cloth areas, you do see that ripple in the surface detail, which is rather cool. Moving along, let's get some big surface detail here. We have all our wing surface detail, again same level of that recess panel line. We do have some recess rivets here and there, but I mean there's not a massive amount. We've got a wheel well detail in here, which there's a little bit of detail going on in here. I do believe we do add a little bit more to it, but that is the majority of it. Right, so then moving along to the fuselage section. In the fuselage section, again, same lovely level of detail. I mean, you can sort of see it is a little bit out of scale with those recessed panel lines. Turn it over. We do have a load of rib detail going on inside here, which isn't really necessary, but there is one or two ejector pin marks which shouldn't really affect too much on the inside detail just there. Although we do have our landing gear wheel well doors just here, and you can see there's an ejector pin mark in each one of them. Those are going to be visible, so you're going to want to sort of take care of them. We've got our tail here again with that sort of ripply type surface detail cloth, as you can see just on there. Moving along, we've got loads of the rocket pylons. We've got two crew members. One's probably a pilot, one's probably the gunner or the spotter. But we can just make out some eyes, just make out some mouth. You can see the nose. There's a bit of detail on there for the 1/72. A bit of flash going around these little bits, but nothing major. I think this sprue here, I do believe this is what makes this kit have the new parts, because it was originally released as a brand spanking new tool in 2015, so it's not that old as a new tool, but this kit had some extra parts added to it, which I do believe is, you know, all this bits on here where we've got like a bit of fuel tanks, and just those little just bits and bobs that just sort of basically turn this into a TF.10. Right, so you know, they're looking rather good, just the same sort of standard as the rest of the kit. Now this kit, it does only cost about £21 RRP. You can get it cheaper if you shop about. Just get my blade out, but yeah, it's a pretty good price for what is, you know, a heavy bomber, a heavy fighter, shall we say. And then we have our clear parts by Airfix. So just having a good look at these. I mean, we are looking pretty good and shiny, pretty sort of crystal clear. I have noticed that cobweb effect. There is just a little bit in this corner just here. You probably can't see it on camera, probably not. It is hard to pick on camera, but with the naked eye I can just see it. But it is a very faint one. I have seen these in the past, and this one is actually a really nice faint one, so I probably wouldn't worry about it too much. But there is a little sort of, you know, that horrible cobweb problem that you can sometimes have with Airfix, but it's you know, I've seen worse. That is you know, not too bad. So we then have some decals, which are by Cartograph, which, you know, as we know, they're made in Italy, some of the best decals that you can get in the world. And looking at these decals, yes, we do have some lovely roundels. It's got a nice matte finish, everything's lovely in registry, colours are looking good. You know, the small writings sort of, you know, nice and readable. We do have some instrument display panel detail we've got in decal form. You know, all in all, they're going to be great decals. Easily you know, works well with micro, salt and set. The instructions is A4 matte sort of paper. You know, we've got a bit of colour going on with it. We've got a nice usual description as always, and then the construction is, you know, as always, you know, start off with a bit of cockpit detail, different positions for a real rear land wheels just there, and then we do have this area here, these like bulkhead things going on, which you know, our wing section slots into. So, you know, two halves come together. You know, this belly bit here is going to be going down separately. That kind of fit, you know, you might have a little bit of a problem around those areas. You know, it probably fits nicely, but you know, you can sort of tell that it was sort of, you know, one piece put on top of there, and it wasn't like two halves coming together. You might have a fit problem there. Don't forget to drill out any holes. Standard wing section construction, apart from with these wings, you actually slot them onto these little bulkhead things, which is quite cool depending on how it fits. You know, we can have like moving tails and ailerons, that kind of stuff. Not everything's sort of, you know, multi-positionable, but you know, you've got one or two of them what you can sort of change. Engines, they look sort of pretty simple. I mean, this kind of three-piece sort of bulkhead thing going on here. I mean, engine cowl, sorry. I know it might be a bit a fit issue there. Maybe I'm just sort of guessing, just over experience. But with three of them pieces, it could be a bit fiddly to get that to fit nicely. Moving along, you know, it's just all your little bits and bobs. Then, you know, you've got the options of having the rockets, having torpedoes, a fuel tank, you know, all sorts of little goodies that you can sort of change this up and make it to your liking. We then got two sets of markings. We do have one which is from December 1949, so it's not World War II, this one isn't. That's number 45 Squadron, and it's got this sort of grey top, black bottom. Then we've got your like sort of like standard colours for a 1945 World War II Beaufighter. I do like this colour scheme, to be fair, so that does look nice. All in all, I mean, you know, it's Airfix, it's a brand new tool. Lovely decals, you know, all in all 1/72 scale, you can't really grumble, and you know you can get it for less than £21. So yeah, definitely a big thumbs up for Airfix's Bristol Beaufighter TF.10. So until next time, my name is Bob Waldron, this is Jenny Smalls, and I hope you've enjoyed.